deceived by the schemes to appeal. A new subscriber, please don't believe all his dreams are for real. He's a liar, don't be deceived by the schemes to appeal. A new subscriber. Well, I can see that time after time we all fall victim to his crimes. And now I see you trying to climb to the top of the heap you can't deny. Please don't believe all his dreams are for real. He's no messiah. Don't be deceived by the schemes to appeal. New disciple, please don't believe all his dreams are for real. He's a liar. Don't be deceived by the schemes to appeal. New subscriber. You can trust me well, and all the things I sell. You can trust me well, and all the things I sell. All the things I sell. Hello, welcome to Guitar Track. I am Richard J. Dowling, and every week I upload a new original song. This week it was New Subscriber, which, once again, running short of time, haven't really prepared the thoughts section as I'd like to do. But I figure, what the heck, I've got a few minutes, so I'll try to just, go through a little bit about the genesis of the song. Because one of the reasons I started the channel, apart from trying to promote my own music, was to share what little I'd learned in writing songs over the years, and I thought it might be helpful for people. So I do enjoy it, and also I feel a bit more of a connection with the YouTube community when I put up these thoughts. And I know I don't expect everyone to listen to them, of course, but to those who do and make a comment, it's very nice for me personally. Anyway, enough of rambling on about me. So the song, it's today's Wednesday, and so I'm going to be uploading on Wednesday, and that's usually a sign that the song's taken. I've had difficulties writing the song, because normally if I can get it up on the Monday, perhaps, but I really need to look at vocabulary for YouTube. So if I can upload on the Monday or the Tuesday, that's usually a sign that everything's gone very easily, and I've had a lot of time and I'm not panicking. And Tuesday evening is really my ideal time or deadline. And whenever I upload things on Wednesday, it's because things have been going horribly wrong. In this case, the music, as usual, was very easy. And the hard thing was the lyrics. So I'll take you through the music first of all, which is this is well, you probably can't see it because I've got it on like the good camera, which doesn't really sort of like just doesn't have like a depth of field or view, whatever. But it's basically, so the chords for the verse are E minor, D major, C major, B major. Which is every few years, I think I've mentioned in one of the other songs, every few years I come back to certain things. With the last song I did, The Lonely Life of the Office Cleaner, that was a G major, D minor 7th sort of thing. And every couple of years I'll go back and write something around that progression. And this is another thing, that it's descending chords. E minor, so if I do it up here maybe you can see it better. E minor, D major, C major, B major. And musically, it's I don't know, it's quite satisfying, this descent, and the last sort of the C to B, that half step. Oh, it sounds slightly exotic. Musically, I guess the most interesting. I mean, this is quite common in chord progressions. Nothing original. I guess the most interesting thing musically is that the verse begins E minor, and the chorus is E major. So I'm using that B chord, which is the fifth of the E. It's the fifth on the E major scale, and it's the fifth on the E minor scale. But in the E minor, it would be a B minor. But regardless, so I'm using that to pivot, basically. So that's when we hit the chorus, and it's sort of, hopefully, the feeling is that it twists the harmony around, and it sounds happier. So E major, D major, G major, A major for the chorus. Now, you probably don't see it here. Probably don't, I don't even know if you can see the guitar, but so E major, D major, G major, A major is actually an ascent. So I was descending in the verse, E minor, D, C, B. So how can E major to D major be a descent if the similar thing in the verse was a descent? Well, it's this thing I do. I don't know if there's a word for it. Maybe it's voice leading, but if you look at the string, so the first string, the E major chord, the first string's open, that's E. Then the D major chord on the first string, this is the F sharp. So going from E, if you're only focusing on the top string, this chord progression is an ascent up the string. So it's E major, then D, then the next chord is G major. This maybe looks very strange if you can't see the guitar, because I'm not using the selfie cam, because I wanted to try and get better audio quality, and I'm using like a microphone plugged into the phone, which if it's on the selfie, it restricts the stereo. If it's not on the selfie cam, it seems to get wider stereo, which sounds better. Anyway, so E major to D. So if I'm just playing that first string, it'd be E major to D major to G major to A major. So, now I'm playing the A major here because it's easier, but you could play it there. So there's in the verse there's a descent going, and in the chorus there's an ascent going on harmonically. Which, I mean, not something that you really need for it to be apparent in the final song. But in terms of the composition, that's what I was thinking. I've got a descent in the verse, so I'll try in some form of ascent in the chorus. And so much of composition is just playing around with these ideas, like what happens if I do this, what happens if I try that, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. In this case, I think it worked very well. And the problem that sort of came very easily. The problem was the lyrical ideas, and in the chorus, I had this sort of sort of police siren. So I tried to base the lyrics on the vowel sound, and the vowel sound seemed to be asking for this E sound. So I tried lots and lots of different combinations of words, and just hit upon this phrase: "Please don't believe all these dreams are for real," and that sort of opened up the idea. Because I mean, one thing about doing the song a week with just a guitar, albeit an acoustic or an electric guitar, but just having an acoustic guitar and the voice, really made me aware that when you're with a band, you can sort of cover up bad lyrics or uninteresting lyrics or lazy lyrics by just having a wall of sound and effects, and so there's not so much attention being paid to the lyrics. But when you're doing a song where it's just going to be guitar and vocal, and I'm sure the same applies whatever your instrument, piano, whatever. I really feel a pressure to get the lyrics to a certain level of standard, and again, it comes up to, I mean, you could literally write anything and it could be a song. It wouldn't be necessarily a good song, but I like to try to get the lyrics to a certain standard, and it's difficult to say what is the standard. It's just something that you think feels right, that it's got a concept, that it's got a sort of, the whole thing is in harmony and it feels right. I mean, it's very difficult to lay down laws about these things. It's all about feelings, what you think is right. I mean, what I think is a good lyric, for many of you watching, you think, no, that's not a good lyric, or it's a fantastic lyric, or it's an average lyric. I mean, these things are so subjective, but you can only go on what you think. So I try to come up with what I think is a good lyric, and at the moment it's revolving around having a sort of concept that is developed in one way or another through the song. In this case, as soon as I hit on this idea of please don't believe all these dreams are for real, it's sort of connected with what I've been doing a lot of recently, which is watching YouTube. And then the amount of advertising seems to be increasing on YouTube, and I keep getting these adverts for make yourself rich. Obviously they know how poor I am, so they're obviously targeting the right guy. Make yourself rich, do this, do that. But I've read a few articles and seen a few videos. A lot of these gurus on YouTube are just faking it until they make it, which is a sort of the philosophy that seems to be in place for a lot of these things. That they all say that they're earning millions and they're living in a penthouse, and it's all fake. It's all literally rented for a photo shoot or a video shoot, and I'd sort of despair at the type of person who would be giving advice to other people on how to make money by lying and about their own their own situation, their own financial situation. I find it, I hate hypocrisy, and it's just something that really bugs me. It's certain vices, you think, well, we're human, whatever, but the hypocrisy really sort of gets on my nerves, where politicians, or in this case gurus of one kind or another, are sort of telling one thing, hoping to get you on board with their way of thinking. I mean, in general, YouTube seems to be a very consumerist platform in one sense. I did a few way back, like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I sort of started up this channel with no real other intention other than learning a little bit about what it's all about and setting up the channel just to see how it works. I figured that this was going to be in some way, shape or form something that my son would be interested in, and I wanted to have a handle on how it worked, sort of thing. So I did a few videos on pedals, because I had a few pedals lying around and I had a few tricks I used to do with them, and those videos I think I got I don't know, thousands. They've got thousands of views with no promotion whatsoever. And the Song a Week videos, which are now, I think, are doing very well, but they're getting 100 views, 200 views. Occasionally there's a blip and I'll get 300, 400 or 700 even, I think is the maximum, to do with the YouTube algorithm. But clearly, if you want views, the thing to do is to do guitar equipment videos. Guitarists are always watching videos on guitar equipment, not so much watching original music. And I don't know why I've started down this. I'm just moaning now, complaining. I don't know. So basically, fed up of advertising and people trying to get rich. So the song is sort of about that. But then it occurred to me, as I was writing the lyrics, that it's not necessarily just about YouTubers and influencers and this sort of things, but it could be about religion and religious sort of movements and I'm not thinking in particular of any particular religion. I was brought up a Roman Catholic, and like most Roman Catholics, I'm a lapsed Catholic. I don't really follow any religion. I mean, I do believe in God, and it's something that maybe I'll try and bring out in some other videos. But for me, it's a bit complicated to get into it, really. But for me, I think of God as a destination for life, as almost as more important than the origin of life. So we're heading towards being God is my way of looking at things, or life in the universe or the multiverse. Anyway, put that to one side. So music, then the lyrics, and I was doubting about the new subscriber. I thought I don't really know, and is that the right thing to talk about? And I was doubting about it, and I started thinking about the religious angle and the Messiah, and finally decided to sort of put them together. The song's called New Subscriber, but there's also a religious element to the song, so you can take it either way. You know, a lot of people involved in religion are living a multi-million lifestyle. Obviously, well, you've got the Pope. I mean, you've got lots of other heads of religion who live very, very, I guess, hypocritical lives in a way. Given, you know, if you look at Jesus's teachings and other, you know, genuine prophets. I don't want to. Yeah, I can't really. I need to have some research done before I get too far into this. So, but this is the idea of the song. That don't believe what people are telling you and how to get rich or how to find bliss and eternal happiness. Don't necessarily believe what people tell you. And at the end of the song, the narrator of the song sings, "But you can trust me well and all the things I sell." And it's, you know, often people will be criticizing somebody else, hoping that you then follow them. So don't trust them either. Don't trust me either. You know, learn to trust yourself, I guess, is the meaning of the song. Because I think as you go through life, you learn your standards, your values, and you judge things by your standard, your values, not by what other people are telling you to judge by. I don't know. I'd probably argue against myself on that point. I really should prepare these more. But that's the song, and I've been enjoying quite lots of channels on YouTube, and didn't really think this out. But there was one guy in particular I wanted to give a shout out to, Michael Healy, who I've been chatting away on YouTube with occasionally. I mean, I imagine he's the same as me. He's busy with family, work, and other things. So it's always, I always appreciate that. You know, if somebody leaves a comment, it's fantastic. I know that people are short of time, and we've been very lucky having a sort of backwards and forwards. He's recommended some fantastic music to me. The Chameleons I'd never heard of. Sorry, I'd heard of them, but I'd never actually listened to their music, and I've been really enjoying their stuff. Sort of post-punk. You know, I'm into the Liverpool, what I call the Liverpool sound of the early 80s, like Teardrop Explodes and Wah, the Mighty Wah, and Echo and the Bunnymen, that sort of thing. And I guess they're sort of in that sound as well. But also he recommended a Paul Simon record, Bookends, which I'd never heard, and it really blew my mind. They were using synthesizers in the 60s. I mean, it's just incredible. I'm still sort of trying to assimilate it. So thank you to Michael Healy. He's got a channel. He is uploading, I think he's uploading 2 or 3 songs, original songs every week. Whenever I look, he's got a new original song. He's really, really, I was going to say prophylactic. No, that's not the word. It's prolific. And he's very good fun, and his songs are always from a very, very different viewpoint. So it's very interesting to see what he comes up with every week. And just as like my life is being plagued by coincidences a lot, I keep coming across Dowlings everywhere. There's I do a song a week. I'm not the only person doing a song a week. There's a channel there's a Reddit subreddit for Song a Week, and there's also another separate Song a Week group set up by a guy called James Tristram Redding. And I sort of, you know, I send in my Song a Week to those. As when I put it up on YouTube, I also send it to those people so they can have a listen, and I listen to their stuff. And one of the songwriters there, Dan Tans, mentioned that he'd been working at Dowling School. So there's a school. I have a school. There's a school. There's Dowling School. Well, there was Dowling School. I don't know if it's still there. I think it's still there. And I keep coming across Dowlings on YouTube, on Facebook. And you know me, I like the paranormal. I'm not really a believer. I'd like to believe in the paranormal sort of thing. So now I'm sort of being plagued by coincidences. And just as I was thinking, I went to do the shopping this morning. And as I was going to the supermarket, in my head I was like thinking, oh, you know, what am I going to do with this song? Is it good? I don't know. The religious blah, blah, blah. Maybe I should take out the Messiah element and just new subscribe. Well, you know, I was dawdling over lyrics in my head. And when I got back, there was this letter. It was fantastic. It was a letter from it was a handwritten letter in English. I live in Spain, and this is a handwritten letter in English from the Jehovah's Witnesses. And I don't know how they know where I live. I don't know how they knew I was in. I mean, I guess if they see the name, they know I'm an English speaker. But so they sent me this lovely picture of Jesus Christ. And it's interesting how much Jesus has changed over the years. I don't know if you can see that. But when I was a lad, he was a sort of long-haired, blondish hippie with blue eyes. I think it was blue eyes. I always seem to remember him having blue eyes. And now he's trimmed his hair. I don't know if you can see it very well there. He's trimmed his hair. He's looking very well groomed, I have to say. He's got a beard. But it's well taken care of, and it's not sort of like a hippie. No. He's much more like he's sharp, and he hasn't got blue eyes. He's got brown eyes, which I think, you know, Jesus was of course Jewish, so probably would have looked more like this than before. But I thought this was some sort of message to me personally, and it literally was a message to me personally, but maybe not in the way they intended. So I thought it was a good way to let you know what's going on in my life, and the song that you hear and the song that the lyrics that you receive are the result of so many random choices and random events going on in my life. The same with all the songs that you're listening to by other artists. So I think, you know, just to give you an idea of what's bubbling under the surface, you know, a good song, I think that it's like the iceberg is 2/3 under the water. I mean, I think a good song has a lot of stuff happening in it. Even when the arrangement is simple, there should be space and things happening that you're not aware of. I don't really know what that means. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead, if I'm ahead. Thank you very much for watching, for putting up with my rambling, and I hope it's in some way beneficial to you. It's probably beneficial to me and my local community by keeping me sane. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.